Canada has 3 labeling laws that the Competition Bureau enforces. Let's delve into some important details of the Textile Labeling Act. The Act applies to consumer textile fiber products. A consumer textile fiber product is any consumer textile article and any textile fiber, yarn, or fabric sold to consumers directly. This definition does not include textile fiber products that are used to manufacture, process, or finish products for sale. The Textile Labeling Act is meant to achieve 2 goals. It enables consumers to choose textiles on the basis of their fiber content, and it protects consumers from misrepresentations in the labeling and advertising of textile fiber products. The Act achieves these goals in 3 ways. First, it prohibits businesses from selling, importing into Canada, or advertising consumer textile articles unless they are labeled according to the law. Second, the Act prohibits businesses from making false or misleading representations through their product labels and advertising. And third, the Act gives authorities the power to inspect textile fiber products and to seize any that do not conform to the law. The Textile Labeling Act sets out the 2 mandatory information statements that dealers must show on their textile labels. For the record, a dealer is a manufacturer, processor, finisher, or retailer of a textile fiber product, or a business that imports or sells a textile fiber product. The first piece of mandatory information is the fiber content expressed in percentages. The generic name of each fiber present in an amount of 5% or more must be stated as a percentage of the total fiber mass of the article. This percentage must appear immediately before or after the generic name of the fiber. The second mandatory information is the full name and postal address of the dealer. Dealers located in Canada can use an identification number, referred to as a CA number, instead of their full name and postal address. Canadian dealers can get a CA number by applying to the Competition Bureau. Dealers can take 3 straightforward steps to comply with the Textile Labeling Act. First, make sure mandatory information labels can be seen and read easily by consumers at the time of purchase. Some consumer textile articles require a permanent label attached in a way that it can be expected to withstand and remain legible throughout at least 10 cleanings of the article. See Schedule 1 of the Act's regulations for a list of these articles. Other consumer textile articles are exempt from labeling requirements. See Schedule 2 of the Act's regulations for a list of these articles. Other consumer textile articles may bear a non-permanent label, such as a hang tag or a sticker, instead of a permanent label. See Schedule 3 of the Act's regulations for a list of these articles. Here are a couple more points to bear in mind. A dealer is not required to include further labeling when a consumer textile article is sold in a wrapper, package, or a container, and the label attached to the article is clearly visible to consumers. That said, a dealer must repeat the label information on the wrapper, package, or container when the label attached to the article is not visible through the wrapper, package, or container. The second kind of mandatory information on labels deals with language. Generic names and fiber content must be in English and French. Here are 2 more points to bear in mind. The first point relates to country of origin. A dealer does not have to identify the country of origin on an imported textile product unless the dealer refers to the fact that the article, fabric, or fiber is imported. The second point refers to care information. It's not mandatory, but if a dealer includes care information, it must accurately reflect an appropriate method of care. A dealer may supply written care instructions in English or French, yet keep in mind Quebec has requirements concerning the use of French on all textile articles marketed and sold in the province. The third kind of mandatory information on labels deals with name and address. A dealer must make sure their name and principal place of business is their full name and an address suitable for postal delivery. A name and address are necessary because consumers may wish to get in touch with a business to ask questions or seek additional information. The Textile Labeling Act outlines penalties that a dealer can face if they break the law. A dealer who does not comply with the law could be fined up to $10,000 and face up to 1 year in prison. The Competition Bureau of Canada has the legal authority to carry out unannounced inspections, to examine textile articles, and to seize any article that violates the law. Consumers who think a dealer has broken the law can notify the Competition Bureau. Business representatives have this right too. Those were the most important facts about the Textile Labeling Act. Find out more detailed information on the Competition Bureau Compliance Bootcamp website. Finally, if you are a business owner or operator and have questions that the Bootcamp resources do not answer, Competition Bureau officials are standing by to help you make your mark.